7 nights after Okon staggered home from the forest. The elders had warned him never to speak of what he saw, but his tongue betrayed him, and the spirits had. The drums began again. They came softly at first, like the sound of distant rain beneath the earth. Then, slowly, the rhythm grew louder. Dum dum. Dum echoing through his bones, crawling into his chest like something alive. The elders had warned him never to speak of what he saw, but fear makes the tongue heavy and restless. When Okon whispered his story, the spirits heard. And the market began to stir once more. That night, the moon hid behind thick clouds. The wind died. Even the crickets went silent, as though the world was holding its breath. Then came the knock, 3 slow, hollow taps on his wooden door. Tock. 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 He froze. The sound came again, steady, patient, as if something waited on the other side. Gathering courage, Okon lifted the latch and opened the door. The night was still, no wind, no sound, no movement, only darkness stretching deep into the trees. He looked down and saw a small clay calabash sitting on the ground. Inside it were ashes and something that pulsed faintly, like a dying heart. The moment he touched it, the world shifted. A chill ran through him, and the drums began again. Not outside this time, but inside his body, beating beneath his ribs. Then, from behind his ear, a whisper. You ate with us, Okon. Now you owe us, you must pay the price. The air grew heavy. The flame of his lamp flickered, then died. He tried to move back, but his legs disobeyed. Slowly, step by step, his body turned toward the forest path. The forest was darker than he remembered, the trees seemed to breathe, the roots curling like snakes around his feet. Each step sank deeper into the earth, wet and cold, as if the ground itself was hungry. The mist thickened until it glowed faintly blue. Faces moved inside it, familiar faces, villagers who had vanished months ago, their mouths open in silent screams. And then, he saw it. The market had returned. But this time, it was wrong. Terribly wrong. The stalls were no longer made of wood and reed. They were made of bones, ribs carved like arches, skulls stacked like baskets. The traders' faces were pale and hollow, their eyes empty sockets that burned faintly red. They smiled when they saw him, showing teeth too sharp, too many. The air reeked of smoke, blood, and palm wine long gone sour. Drums pounded from everywhere and nowhere, matching the wild beat of his heart. Then she appeared, the woman in red. Her robe flowed like a river of blood. Her eyes were black as coals, swallowing all light. When she spoke, her voice came from every corner of the market. You dined with the dead, Okon, she said. You broke the boundary. The market remembers its customers. Every meal has a price. Okon fell to his knees, shaking. Please, he whispered, I didn't know. The woman tilted her head slowly, her mouth curling into a smile that was not human. The dead care little for what the living know. She raised her hand. The ground beneath Okon trembled, cracked open, and from the darkness below, grey hands clawed their way up, dozens of them, cold and wet, grabbing at his legs, pulling him down. He screamed, but the drums drowned his voice. As the soil swallowed him to his waist, he saw the traders swaying gently, nodding in rhythm to the beat, whispering to one another, the debt is paid, the debt is paid. And when the last of his breath left him, the woman in red stepped closer and whispered, Welcome back to the market. The drums stopped. The night went silent. And the forest swallowed everything whole. In a quiet town where faith once conquered fear, an old church keeps its secrets buried in the dark. But some sins refuse to stay silent. Tonight, one voice will rise from the shadows and ask to be heard once more.